Hello dear friends, welcome to my channels. So friends, this video is PowerPoint representations. So friends, let's start our discussions. Today I want to discuss LPP. Okay? Now LPP is very important for CSI NET GATE examinations. This video is very helpful for understanding shortcut method because I discuss it in shortcut. Okay, so solve the LPP by simplex method. Maximum z is equal to 4x1 plus 3x2 and subject to 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equals to 8 and 3x1 plus 2x2 less than equals to 12. So the standard form of a given LPP 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 0s1 0s2 subject to 2x1 plus 3x2 plus s1 plus 0s2 equals to 8, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 0s1 plus s2 equal to 12, x1 comma x2 greater than equals to 0. So friends, in here s1 and s2 are slack variable because 8 as it is less than equals to 8, 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equals to 8. That's why I used slack variable. If 2x1 plus 3x2 greater than equals to 8, then I use surplus variable, friends. So let's start to solve our problem. I will show the table. Okay, you see BVP is equal to x1 x2 x1 x2 s1 s2 and solutions. And now zg minus cj, okay, it is not xj, zg minus cj minus 4 minus 3 0 comma 0. Okay, you will see the total table s1 s2 s3. Now I have to find out pivot element. Okay, how can I can get pivot element? Okay, let me tell zg minus cj minus 4 is the uh, minimum value. So entering variable is x1, so this is my entering variable. Now I find out mean ratio. You see that entering element is 2 and 3. Solutions by element, so mean ratio is equal to 8 by 2 equals to 4, 12 by 3 equal to 4. So I take the pivot element as a pivot variable as a 3, and 1 0 0 1 is my identity matrix, and I have written my total standard form of given LPP. Okay, subject to 2x1 plus 3x2 plus s1 0 s2 is equal to 8. Okay, so I hope it is clear. In here zj minus cj, not xj. Okay, now you see that x1 cj value, x1 is 4, x2 3, s1 0, s2 0. So zj minus cj, and how I get 2 into 3 into 0. Okay, 3 into 0, 2 into 0, and minus 4, then I get zj minus cj is equal to minus 4, 2 into 0, 3 into 0 is minus 3, so I get, and 0 into 0 0 1 into 0 minus 0 equal to 0. So this way I get zj minus cj. You see that 4 and 4 both are equal, so I take 3 is a pivot variable. You can choose also 2 as a pivot variable. How can I find out pivot variable? Solution divided by element. Which element? Entering variable. Where is the entering variable? Now I have to divide it pivot element with the row, pivot row. So 3 by 3 is equal to 1, 2 by 3 and 0 by 3. You will see this column. Yeah, you see that x2 is become 1, 2 by 3, 0 comma 1 by 3 and 4, and x2 is my x1 is my entering variable. Okay, in here it is wrong, it is x1 is my entering variable, and leaving variable is s2. Now I used again the same process. So now how can I find out this total? Now I discuss the total calculation, how I have to find out. Now it is 1, so the entering variable is, it is 1, so next is s1 must be 0 and zj minus cj must be 0. Zj minus cj is must be 0. Now I use the shortcut method. How I get the values. You see 2 and 3 star. How to change my element 3? Okay, 2 becomes 0, minus 4 becomes 0. Okay, from table 1 you see the two elements 2 and minus 4 becomes 0 and 3 becomes 1. So it is identity matrix. Now you see that I am trying to find out the value of I get s2 value is 2 by 3. Now I have to change the value of 3. So how can I get the value? I get the value is 2 and 3. I create a square, 2 3 3 2. I create a square. Okay, you know this, you know row column operations. How to I used row column operation for finding, for changing new table. Now I do not use this process. I just try that 2 3 and 3 and 3 4, just as I write the shortcut method 2 3 and 3 2, because 3 is the my point, and row, pivot row and pivot column. Pivot row element is 2 and 2 3, now I and divided by pivot element. So 3 cross 3, because pivot into first step is pivot into pivot element with 3. So 3 cross 3 is equal to 9 and 2 cross 2 is equal to 4. So 9 minus 4 is equal to 5 by 3. That's why I get this value 5 by 3. And you see that minus 4 0 3 0 1 divided by 3, you get 3 into 0 minus 4 into 1, minus 4 plus 4. Okay, it is the determinant value. So I get 0 star become 4 by 3 in the table 2, second table. Okay, now again I, okay, so this way I get the total values. And proceeding the similar manner, then you get all the value. Okay, minus 4 in 3 into 0 and minus 4 into 1. You see that minus, okay, next element is, you can consider we should consider minus 3. Okay, okay, minus 3, 3 I will change. So 3 into minus 3 is equal to minus 9, and 4 minus 4 into 2 plus 8 divided by 3, so it is minus 1 by 3. So I get the Zj minus Cj as minus 1 by 3. So remembering point is 3 we need to multiply 3 with pivot element with 3. Okay, and another is the pivot column. You see that where the pivot element belongs to which column, that is pivot column. So pivot column element 4 means we need a square. You see there is a square. Okay, so minus 1 by 3. So proceeding similar manner, I get whole the table. So you see that 5 by 3 1. So S1 0 0, S1 row is 0, 5 by 3 1, minus 2 by 3 0, x2 1, 2 by 3 0, 1 by 3 4, and 0, minus 1 by 3 0, 4 by 3 16. So this is my solutions element. How I get solutions? I have already told how can I get solution. Solutions element is very simple, because 0 and 3 is my pivot element. So 3 into 0 is equal to 0, and another is 12 and minus 4. So divided by 3. So 0 minus 48, minus of minus 48. So plus divide by 3 is equal to 16. So thus I get the solutions element is 16. This way is very simple, friends. So you don't sometimes this way is very simple, and it is very helpful. This trick is very helpful to do more very quickly, very quickly. We can solve very quickly simplex method. Now you see this is my total solutions. You see I create two table, one first table, second table, and third table. This is the first table. First table is up to S2, not 16 is not my first table, up to S2. Okay, 16 to 16 to 4 my second table, and 16 to 4 my next is my third table. Means Zj minus Cj is the beginning of the table. Okay, third table. So you get total third table, and now my answer is solution is 16, and x1 x2 is equal to 0, and x1 is equal to 4. So you get my answer, this total. And I used same way. Okay, I used same way. I used second table to find out third table. Process is same, the same square means determinant way. At first I have to find out pivot element. You see in here, in the second table, you see 5 by 3 is the my entering variable. Okay, 5 by 3 is my entering variable. And now you see the third table, you see total Zj Cj is greater than equals to 0. So there is no need to make a table.